And what I've done here, Brendan, I've set what I think is a very English field. We've got a couple of slips, first 10 overs, so we've got a couple of men out on the boundary, a couple of slips and a ring field. Now, from what we've seen from you, this is not the type of field you would set. How would you change it?
Where are we playing?
Okay, first game, Edgbaston.
Okay, so it's a bit bigger square, isn't it?
Big ground.
Big ground. Who's opening? Who's batting?
Hales and Roy.
Okay, so we've got
So
Southey
we've got
and
a couple
Bolt.
of lads that are going to go at you.
Okay, so we've got Southey and Bolt.
Southey and Bolt.
Okay, well, Southey will probably bowl first over, looking to shape it away from Hales. Probably don't need him. Probably throw him in there. Depending on, we'll see how that goes. Speak to Timmy, he may feel as if the ball could swing quite a bit that day. So if that's the case, then you may even look to bring in a fourth as well. You'd probably do away, if you're going to do that, you'd probably do away with him, bring him round here, and then he'd probably come in here somewhere. These guys would be up a little bit, make sure that if they're in the ring, then they're on the one. So that's obviously very, very aggressive. You'd probably start with something like that, to be fair.
So you're just thinking wickets?
Yeah.
You're just thinking, not worry about runs. What happens then? Scenario A, Alex Hales pumps you continuously, three fours in and over to Tim Southey through there, through extra cover. Are you just going to hold your nerve and keep your slips in? At what point do you then make the change? It's almost plan A to plan B.
See, out of captaincy and delegating, Tim's got to swing it more than that. No, I think you've got to assess the conditions as you go along. I mean, you've got to hold your nerve for a period of time, but at the same time, you've got to try and take 10 wickets. If you can take 10 wickets throughout your 50 overs, there's a fair chance that you're going to get the team for below par. So I guess that's our mentality. Very fortunate we've got some very good swing bowlers as well, and with the two new balls these days, it gives you wicket-taking opportunities. Other players are allowed to play well, and if that happens, you've obviously got to think on your feet.
I mean, that's crucial what you said there. So if you didn't have Bolton Southey, let's just throw it ahead many, many years if you didn't, would you be able to set a field like that? Or would it be wise to set a field like that?
I think it still can work for you. You've got to understand, I guess, the recipe there. You've got to have that relationship with the bowler, know that exactly how they're looking to try and get guys out, what their mode of dismissal is going to be, and then you work backwards from there. Obviously, this mode of dismissal from Southey is he's looking to nick him off. If the ball's not swinging, and there's times where you play in the subcontinent where it doesn't swing as much, then his mode of dismissal changes somewhat. He looks to bowl a lot straighter, and he looks to use the crease and try and bring in LBW bowled. If that was the case, then you probably have a slightly different field where you'd even look to have something like that. So you're looking to bring in those guys a little bit closer. You've still got the protection there as well. You may have just the one slip. So again, you've got to be pretty flexible and just work out what your mode of dismissal is for that batsman with your bowler and the conditions that are there, and go about trying to execute it. Just
listening to you and watching you captain, it's almost like you don't have a plan. It's almost like, well, we'll start with that idea, and if that doesn't work, then we'll think on our feet, and you'll chat to your bowlers and you'll come up with plans when you're out there. Is that how you do it?
Yeah, there's a lot of research done leading into a game. The bowlers spend a heck of a lot of time studying, I guess, the weaknesses and also the strengths of the opposition players. And then in a casual environment, we chew the fat over what we think is our best strategy to give us our greatest opportunity in the game. But we're fluid with our plans as well. And there's times where it's not just cricketing plans as well. You try and play the man on occasions too. And our guys have certainly bought into that strategy too. We always want to see the game moving forward, and we're prepared to make proactive plays. They won't always work, but we're prepared to make those because we feel it gives us a good chance of dictating play rather than being dictated to.
Give us an example of what you just said there, just moving the field. We were talking earlier.
Yeah.
It's not something you see a tremendous amount, but you were saying that perhaps you might just make a subtle adjustment just to almost get into the mind of the batsman and actually do nothing different. Tell us how you do that.
Yeah, we'll probably don't need that one. We'll say, for instance, you've got a field like this. You may have a batter who's a very structured batter. It sort of works more with structured players, and there's obviously a lot very, very good players around in the world. But there is guys who watch the field. I guess they start to wonder based on the field what the bowler's going to bowl, and they have a preconceived idea around that. So if you can just be keeping the rest of these guys pretty simple, but you may just move one man. Constantly just move one man. So you may move him from being at short cover, he may go to third slip, then next ball he may come around the corner here, and then next ball he may jump into short mid wicket, and you just keep dancing around, almost trying to just, I guess, play the game with the batsman. Versus if the wicket's not doing anything, the bowler's maybe not as effective as what you want. It's just an opportunity to again have another proactive play, and it may not work, but it just may as well.